My name is Susan Bowerman. I'm a registered dietitian and Senior Director of Worldwide Nutrition and Education and Training here at Herbalife Nutrition, and I'm also Chair of the Herbalife Nutrition Dietetic Advisory Board. I'm so happy to be doing this training. It's a training I've been wanting to do for a while, where we're going to spend some time today talking about how to use our products in Herbalife recipes. So that's the topic. We're going to go through that. We're going to talk a little bit today also about our global nutrition philosophy, but we're really going to spend some time just talking about ways that you can create wonderful recipes using our amazing Herbalife nutrition products. So this is just an image to show you that there are lots and lots of recipes that are being developed all around the world. And I've had the privilege of being able to collect many of these from around the world. And it's been so fun to look and see what different regions are doing with different products, because our products are different all over the globe. But there are so many different things that you can do with our products. And you can see we have recipes that are coming from the Russian-speaking markets, from South America. We've got recipes from Europe. And I've actually been developing a recipe book for North America as well. Lots that we can be doing. So why are we creating recipes? What's the big deal about creating recipes with our products? You know, we know our Herbalife nutrition products are wonderful on their own, but when you start to think about it, there's so many other things that we can do with it. And so being able to demonstrate these new uses for our products, of course, that's going to help us boost sales, which is always a good thing. But the other thing is that there's so much nutrition in our Herbalife nutrition products. And so being able to take advantage of that to enhance the nutritional value of recipes. And we're going to talk more about that, how you can add things like protein and you can add more vitamins and minerals by incorporating our products into recipes. It's a great thing to be able to do. And the products then are really seen as being more versatile. So, you know, we love our Formula 1 shakes, and we love to have those in the morning and start our day. But there's so many other things that you can do with that particular product. And so being able to demonstrate to your customers that there are many other things that they can do besides just make a shake with Formula 1 is a really fun thing to be able to do. And it's more engaging. This is a way that you can engage more customers to show them the versatility of our products. And of course, for many of you, it's important to be able to share information on your social media accounts. And this is a wonderful way to be able to do that. Everyone loves to see new recipes, loves to see what people are eating. And so this might be another incentive for you to think about creating new recipes in your market. All right, so when we talk about creating new recipes, one thing it's always important to keep in mind, though, is our global nutrition philosophy. These are sort of the basic concepts around healthy eating and good nutrition. So I do want to spend a few minutes just reviewing some of the principles there, because I want to set a framework for you when you start to think about creating recipes with Herbalife nutrition products. So the first thing is thinking about how can we use these products to enhance a recipe? And there's really so many different ways depending on the products you have available. So from a nutrition and health standpoint, for example, you can add more protein to a recipe with products like Formula 1 or PPP, or if you have high proteinized coffee in your market, you can do that. You can add more vitamins and minerals to a recipe by adding Formula 1, since Formula 1 is fortified with so many vitamins and minerals. A lot of people are always seeking more energy throughout the day, right? And so being able to provide more of that in the form of caffeine from tea or from Liftoff, these two products work really well in a lot of recipes, and we'll talk about that too. And then many people are concerned about digestive health. So if we can add aloe or active fiber or add simply probiotic to a recipe, this is another way that we can enhance nutrition and health and promote this to our customers. And then there's just the basic of adding more flavor or color to a recipe. In addition to, of course, there are nutritional aspects here as well. But when you think about the colors and the flavors of Formula 1 and tea and aloe, the beautiful color and flavor in a collagen beauty drink or in our CR7 Drive. I love to use that one in recipes because the natural colors are so beautiful. Protein coffee adds a lot of flavor. And then active fiber, that wonderful apple flavor, is really wonderful in a lot of recipes. So we can use these products to enhance recipes in many, many different ways. But it's important, as I said, to stay consistent with our global nutrition philosophy. And by that, I mean that if you're creating a recipe and there's other sources of protein in your recipe, that let's make sure that we keep our protein sources lean. And, you know, if you make a savory recipe, for example, I have recipes using aloe as a marinade for chicken, you know, that's great. So let's keep our protein sources lean. Let's use chicken and let's use seafood and lean cuts of meat and those plant proteins as well, like tofu and tempeh. These are important. Choosing the good carbohydrates, we will see a number of recipes here where we're using fruits and vegetables, whole grains, things like rolled oats that can go into many recipes. And these are the healthy carbohydrates that are important as part of your healthy diet. We say, you know, 40%, roughly 40% of your calories should come from these good carbohydrates. If you add fats to a recipe, and there are healthy fats that work really well in a number of recipes, so things like nuts and seeds and nut butters and avocado can be used to add some healthy fat and add flavor to your recipes. So if you're going to add fat, of course, we would want you to emphasize these healthy sources. And then, of course, limiting added sugars. Now, we see a lot of recipes for sweets and desserts, and that's fine. And we do, in fact, have some sugar in our products, but we want to be cautious about how much we add and maybe find other ways to sweeten some of our recipes, possibly with fruit or with dried fruits. These kinds of things work very well, and I'll show you an example of that. And then lastly, it's about positioning your food items appropriately. And by that, I mean that if you create a recipe for something that looks like a cake or looks like a pie or looks like a cookie, that it really should be positioned that way. It should be positioned as a dessert or possibly a healthy snack. Even if the nutrition profile looks pretty close to what you might get from a meal, we don't want to encourage people to be eating dessert type products in place of a meal. So just position your recipes appropriately once you create them. And one of the last concepts I want to talk about before we get into recipe development is this idea of nutrient density, because when we talk about a nutrient dense food, we're talking about foods that have what we would say a lot of nutrition per bite. And so one of the ways to think about this is I've often told people to think of, excuse me, to think of their calories as cash. And when you go to buy something and you spend money on something, whether it's a new phone or a computer or a car, or it doesn't matter what it is, you want to get the best value. You want to spend your money wisely and get the most you can. And it's really the same thing with your calories, is you want to buy the most nutrition you can from the calories you have to spend. So if you think of your calories that way, you want to spend them on these lean proteins, on the good carbs like vegetables and fruits and whole grains and beans. On the other hand, we have what we call calorie dense foods, and these are foods that have a lot of calories per bite. And these are not the ones that you really want to spend a lot of your calorie cash on, because you're going to burn through your calories so quickly. If you spend calories on fried foods and candies and sodas and desserts, it doesn't leave you a lot of extra cash to buy the nutrition that you need every day. So this is why we do have that focus on these nutrient dense foods. And so it's just a good way to frame it out so that you can really think about the difference between having those good nutrient dense foods that you buy the most nutrition for your money versus the ones that are very, very costly.